Hello children, today you are going to see the subject biology. So before going into the lesson, I will tell what is science first and the different categories of science, and finally we will move on to the topic. So today your first lesson will be characteristics of life.
Hello, children. So, welcome to the new academic year. You have come from 5th to 6th standard now. So, today you will be learning the subject science. You know what is science in your earlier classes. So, you would have learned different topics about plants, animals, and other chemical components. But now, in your 6th standard, you will be learning the science subject in different forms. Now, in your 6th standard, you will be learning science into three different parts. As you can see in the image, you will be learning the science subject as three parts, that is, chemistry, biology, and physics. Now, let me explain about what is physics first. So, it is the branch of science that studies about the matter and its motion, and also about energy and forces. So, you will be studying about all the matter, all the particles, about chemical reactions, their chemical components, and what is the mechanism in movement, the laws and derivations and all you will be learning in physics. So these are the topics included under the subject physics. The next subject is chemistry. So, this is also a part of the science. In this chemistry, you will be learning about the different chemicals. What are the different types of chemicals present, and when they react together, what type of product we get. Chemicals, if you see, means it is around in our day to day lives. We can see in our body itself there are many types of chemicals present. In some of the cosmetics also the chemicals are present, and some of the food items that we get that are packed and we get in that also there will be some amount of chemicals in it. So chemicals are present everywhere. So studying about those chemicals and their chemical reactions and how they react, the nature of it, the structure of it, so all these topics comes under the subject chemistry. The third subject is biology. So, in this biology, you will be learning about all the living organisms and their structure, function, and the detailed study of those things only comes under biology. So, in this video, you will be learning about this biology subject only in detail. So, let us start the lesson now. Now, let us start the lesson. So, today in the biology subject, we are going to see about life, about what is life, the various characteristics of it, and how they are formed from a cell to a whole organism. So, before going into a topic, just observe the image. Here you can find on the top you can find the picture of a whale, and below the small structure of bacteria. It is the bacteria picture. It is a microscopic organism. So you can see the difference between these two organisms. The whale is very big, it is very huge, it is the largest animal in the world, whereas if you see the bacteria, it is very small, we cannot see through the naked eye, so small it is. But here I am going to ask you a question, see whether you can answer it. Is there anything common in bacteria and whale? So you all will be thinking, how can we compare these two both? They don't have anything in common. But I am here to tell about the common thing. Some things are common between these two organisms. So let us see. So all the living organisms, from the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, they share certain characteristics of life. So all the things are living things only. So there are some things that are common in both of them. So for example, all living things are made up of cells. So the whale, inside the whale also you can find many number of cells. In the bacterial body also you can find small cells. The numbers may vary, but the cells are present in both the organisms, and they can reproduce to make next generation. So what happens? The bacteria also can reproduce to form new bacterium, and the whale also reproduces. So without these characteristics there is no life. So we have to reproduce to continue the life, and the cells has to be present. These are some of the main functions for a life. So both these main functions are common in both the organisms. So from this itself we know all the living things have some common features of life.
So now from the video we saw about what do the bacteria and whale have in common. So the common features between a bacteria and whale, that was the thing we saw. So it's all related to under one topic, that is life. So today's topic is characteristics of life. So about what is life and what are the different characteristics of life. So those are the things we are going to see now. So before itself I told you about physics and chemistry. Now we will discuss about biology. What is biology? And then we will move on to the topic. So first we will see what is biology. So biology only we are going to learn now. So let us see that in detail, then we will move on to the topic. First is biology. What is biology? So it examines the structure and function, growth, origin, evolution and distribution of living things. So biology means it is all about living things only. So we are going to learn only about living things. So what are living things? You know the difference between living and non-living things. So living things means those that can move, those that can grow, those are the things comes under living things. So example, small birds, the insects, animals, human beings, plants, these are all come under living things. So now we are going to discuss about these things only in detail. We are going to see the structure. Structure means how a human body is formed, how a plant body is formed, how the animal structure, the external structure of the living organism. Structure means the shape of the living organisms we are going to see in the subject biology. Next is function. So how do they function? How do they are used to? So what is the function of the hand? To do work, to lift the things. So to eat. So these are the functions of hands. What is the function of eye? We can see through the eye. That is the function of eye. So what are the function of leaves? It will produce food for the plant. So each part of the living body has some use. So studying about those things only is functions. And growth. So how do living things grow? For example, before a few years you would have been a small baby. Then you would have grown gradually. It is same for for everyone. So I also would have been a small child and slowly grown into an adult. So we are growing. There is a growth. Plants also it is similar. So what we do, we take a seed and we sow it inside the soil. After some time what happens? It slowly grows. That is one growth. This is also a growth. Studying about these growth, how do the organism grow? That also comes under biology. Next is origin. How have been the organisms originated? How are they being created? That is only called as origin. How it all started. So how all the living things have come to the earth. What is the starting point of living? So that is always the origin. Then evolution. So you would have heard the term about early man, monkey. From the monkey only we have been evolved. So that is comes under evolution. So slowly from the stage of monkey, after few changes, we have been changed into a developed human. So about that gradual slow changes is called evolution. So studying about all these things only is evolution. And distribution. So how are all distributed? For example, we can take a certain crop. We can take rice. So where are they present? In some parts of in South India. Where are wheat present? In the North India, Punjab and all, wheat is present. So studying about the distribution of living organisms. Where are the tigers present? In such area the tigers are present. Here the tigers not present. So like the distribution, how are they being distributed? Studying about all those things also comes under biology. So biology means it examines the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution and distribution of living things is called biology. So now you have an idea about what is biology. Next is how are they being classified and what are the things. So it classifies and describes organisms. So biology what it does, it creates separate categories for each of the organisms. So example, we are human beings, we are under separate category. The plants are under separate category and the animals are under separate category. So it classifies, categorizing is called classification. So it classifies and describes it tells about the human being, how the human beings, it describes it, how the plants are, what are the structures, functions present. So it categorizes the living organisms and their functions also. It classifies and describes organism, their function and how species come into existence. Like I already told you about the origin of species. So how the living things have been evolved, how they started, how they originated, the starting point of living organisms. So that is the same point here. How the species, how the plant has formed first, how they are coming into life, how the human being is coming into life. So how they start their life. Those things will be studied under biology and interaction. So how do they interact? How do the cells interact with one another? So in our body there are many trillions of cells in our body. So how do they interact with each other to function the human body? How do the plant cells interact? And how do we interact with the nature? How do we interact with the animals? So those are the interactions, the relationship. All the living organisms in the earth are connected to one another. So studying about those interactions also comes under biology only. So these are the things about biology. Now you have an idea about what is biology and in that what you will be studying. So it classifies and describes organism, their function and how species come into existence and interactions they have with each other. So these are the things about biology.
Now we are going to see the branches of biology. What are the different branches present in the subject biology? So, I explained you about what is biology and what are the topics that will be included under biology. Now, we are going to see the different types. So, each type of study will have different names. So, biology is not a single subject. It is made up of many subjects together under a major topic, that is only is called biology. So let us see some of the branches in biology. The first subject in the branches of biology is biochemistry. So, biochemistry means it is the study of chemicals that made up the life. So, the chemicals that are used to live a life is called biochemistry. So studying about what are the chemicals that are present to make life run, that is only is coming under biochemistry. So as I told you, there are different types of chemicals that are present inside our body itself, and around us also we can find different types of chemicals. For example, for digestion we need hydrochloric acid, and inside our body there are many chemicals present. The oxygen that we breathe, that is also a gas, and that is also a chemical. So water, H2O, that is also a chemical. So studying about these things is called biochemistry. Next is cell biology. So it is the study of life at the level of cell. So when you see in the microscope, you can see these small structures. So those are only called the cells. Cells are present everywhere. It is present in the living body, it is present in the plant body, it is present everywhere. All the living things are made up of cells only. So internally studying about how the cell structures are, what are the organelles present in it, what are the different functions of these cells. So studying about these things in detail is called cell biology. Microbiology. So it is the study of microscopic organisms. The small organisms that we cannot see through the eye, but it can be only viewed under the microscope. Such organisms, studying about their structure, functions and reproduction. So those are the things coming under microbiology. So studying about the virus, bacteria, bacteriophage, and different types of microorganisms are there that we cannot see through the naked eye. So those things, studying about them is called as microbiology. Micro means microorganisms, biology. Next is immunology. So about the immune system, when we are affected by any disease or any infection, so how does the body resist to the various diseases and functions. So studying about that only is immunology, how the body reacts to all the foreign organisms and how they resist and kill the microorganisms. That is the it may be any virus affecting, or it may be any fungi affecting. So fighting against that only is immune system. So studying about that immune, what happens inside the body is called as immunology. Genetics. It is the study of how organisms pass traits to their offspring. So, what they tell, it is the study about organisms, the living organism, how the characters from one generation to another generation passes. So you will be looking like your parents. You will have some similarities in the appearance or character. So how does it come from your parents to you? It is all through genetics only. That is, you in our body there will be DNA materials and RNA materials. What they will do, they will take the character of our parents, and we grow, and we show that character when you grow up. So that is only studying about how the character passes from the other generation, or we maybe look like our grandparents also. So how does it happen? The genetics, the genes have been passed from the grandmother to the mother or father, and from them it is passed to you. So studying about this thing is called genetics. Human physiology. So studying about how the human body works. So what are happening inside the human body? We can see things through the eyes. So how is it possible? What are the things happening inside the eyes? We can move from one place to another using our legs. So how does the leg work? What happens inside our body for that moment? So the heart beats every day. So how does it happen? After beating, what is the function? What does the heart do? So studying about all the parts of the human body and how they work is coming under the study of human physiology. Next is zoology. So zoology means studying about the animals. So what are the different animals present in the earth, and how are they categorized, and how are they external structure, how they are differentiated, and internally how they are differentiated. What are the different systems present inside the body? It may be respiratory system, it may be the digestive system, or it may be reproductive system. So studying about the each and every inch of the animals is coming under zoology. So in zoology only the human study of human body also comes. So we are also at social animals. So about the study of human body also comes, and only a part of it comes under zoology. Next is ecology, the study of how the organisms interact with their environment is called as ecology. So the living organisms, how we human beings interact with the nature, how can we connect ourselves with the trees and the other nature. So how can the animals interact with the nature? So more than human beings, the animals are mostly attached to the nature. They mostly depend on nature. So how that interaction takes place, what is the relationship between the animals and plants, the nature, and how are we connected with the nature? So studying about all these things only is coming under ecology. Evolutionary biology. It is the study of how populations and species change over time. So, at the starting stage of any organism, it would have been different from the present one. So, human beings also, it is the same case only. We would have been in a different form at the starting stage. As you can see in the image, the horse of the developmental stages of the horse, you can see from the starting stage and the last stage, how the difference has been made, and finally it has fully developed into a horse. Like this only, all the organisms in the earth gradually changes itself to get a new form. This is only is known as evolution. So studying about the history of how the population, how the species has changed from the time, that is only is called as evolutionary biology. Next is botany. So in botany, it is the study of plants. You can compare with the zoology. It is the study of animals. Here it is the study of plants. So studying about the what are the different types of plants present and how they are differentiated from one another, what are the structural organization of the plants, what is happening inside anatomically, what is happening inside the plant. So studying about the everything about the plants is called as botany. So the study of plants is called as botany. So the last branch of biology is applied fields of biology. In this, medicine and genetic research involve specialized areas of study. So in this, how they make medicines, how they combine all the chemical components and to produce a medicine, and the genetic research, how the organisms have been evolved, what are the characteristics, what are the materials present in the genetic material, that is RNA and DNA. So everything will be studied under applied fields of biology.
Now I am going to tell you about what is life. So what is life? So we saw about biology and the different branches of it. Now we are going into the topic about life we are seeing now. So first, things which can grow, breathe and reproduce are called as living things. So what they said, the things, the living things that can grow, breathe and reproduce. So for example, take yourself as a thing. You are a thing. Can we grow? Yes, we can grow. So year after year we are growing gradually. So we can grow. So can we breathe? Yes, we are breathing. Yes, that is also possible. And reproduction. Do the human beings reproduce? Do all the human beings have the ability to produce their own young ones? Yes, we reproduce. So all the three things are coming under the human category. So we are called as living things. So we can also compare with plants also. So plants grow and they respire through the leaves, they respire and they reproduce. When we sow a seed, they grow into a new plant. So reproduction takes place. So that is also is possible. So the plants are coming under the living things. So take this example, duster. Okay, this is a non-living thing. So it does not grow, it does not breathe and it does not reproduce. So this is a non-living thing. So likewise, the living things and non-living things are differentiated. So let us see the definition. Things which we can grow, breathe and reproduce are called as living things. So now we are seeing the non-living things. Things which cannot grow. They do not grow, they cannot breathe and they cannot reproduce. Things which cannot grow, cannot breathe and cannot reproduce. So these are the things coming under non-living things. So for example, the scale, the bench, stone, chair, everything is a non-living thing. So living things, example, plants, animals, insects, birds. So everything comes under non-living things. So these are the differentiation between living things and non-living things. Now I will give you a short recap from the first. We saw about the common features of bacteria and whale, and then we saw the definition of biology, studying about the structure, function, growth, origin, how it started. Evolution means how it slowly changed from the starting point till now. From the monkey to human being, what are the changes? Those are the evolution. That and distribution, how the living organisms are distributed. And it classifies and describes the organism. That is it categorizes the organisms and it describes the organism, its functions and how the species come into life and the interactions between the living organisms come under biology. Then we saw the different branches of biology, and finally we saw what is life. Things which can grow, breathe and reproduce are called as living things, and things which cannot grow, breathe and reproduce are called as non-living things.
Here is a fact about the organisms present in the soil. So there are more living organisms in a teaspoonful of soil than the people on the earth. So you can imagine in the earth itself there are millions of people, but more than that, in a teaspoonful of soil, the organisms are present. So many number of organisms are present in the soil. The a teaspoon itself is compared to the earth. Imagine the whole soil in a field, how many organisms will be there. This is the interesting fact about soil. There is not just one distinguishing feature that separates a living thing from non-living thing. There are many characteristics to compare with living thing and non-living thing. When comparing those characteristics, we can tell whether the thing is a living or non-living. Now you can see in the image, the cat also, a cat is present, the cat also moves, so does the car also moves. Now you can see the picture of a cloud and a tree. The tree also grows bigger, and so does the cloud also grows bigger. But there are some characteristics of life to be considered, and we can tell that it is alive. Since it is growing and moving, we cannot consider them as an living thing because there are some characteristics that are missing in these non-living things. So we will be discussing that. In this image, you can see a toy, a duck toy. Actually, it is called as duck decoy. So this is a device used to capture all the wild ducks or other species of water flow. So they are like a device to catch the wild ducks. So this is a technique of hunting. Now why we are talking about this duck decoy is, the duck decoy may look like a duck. It acts like a duck, that is, it can float like other ducks, but it is not alive, and it cannot reproduce, and it cannot respond to the environment or breathe. Even though the duck, the live duck and the duck decoy may look similar in the appearance, but they miss out some of the characteristics of life. So they are a non-living thing, and the living ducks are the living thing. So even though the appearance are the same, they do not perform some of the characteristics of life.
Now we will be seeing about the cells. So before that we saw about what is life and about living things and non-living things and their characteristics. Now it is about cells. So why we are talking about cells is, cells are the ones that will make any organism living. If a thing is called as an organism, living organism, it is a living thing. Why? Because that has cells. If anything that has cells, then they are automatically considered as living organisms. So we are going to learn about cells now. All living organisms are made up of cells. So like I told you, all the living organisms are made up of cells. So for example, you can take plants. Those are also living things. those are also made of cells only. We are also living things. We are also made up of cells only. All the living things that you see are made up of cells. Organisms like ferns, fish and elephant looks similar at cellular level. So you should imagine how the ferns look. These small plants are called as ferns. So they will be used for decorative purposes. So ferns, if you see means they are plants and they will have leaves. Whereas if you take fish, that is totally different from ferns. So it will be in water. And next is elephant. It is very huge when compared to fish and ferns. They will live on the land. So externally if you see means these three things are totally different. But at cellular level, if you see means all these things are same. Even the ferns also has similar cells. Fish also has cells. Even elephant also has cells. So all the organisms, externally they may be different, but internally they are all cells. And cell is basic structural and functional unit of life. So cell is known as the basic structural and functional unit of life. So cell only forms the structure of all the organism. To get certain features of the organism, cell only is responsible. For internal function purpose, so we have to walk, the muscles have to work, that is one function. We are breathing, that is one function. The heart is beating, that is also one function. So for that these cells are needed. For external organs, for formation of organs and parts of the leaf, plant, everything, we need cells. For internal function purpose also we need cells. So cells are known as structural and functional unit of life. So without cell there is no life. So cell only makes the organism a living being. Next is some organisms have one or two cells. So the lower organisms that we cannot see through the naked eye, the small organisms that are surrounded us, but we cannot see through the naked eye. Only under the microscope we can view those organisms. So much small organisms, they will have only one or two cells, not more than that. With that cell itself, they will do all the activities for life. Whereas some have trillions of cells. If you see the higher organism, it may be huge plants, trees, or it may be human beings. We are all well-developed organisms. So in our body there are trillions of cells. So can you imagine so many cells are present in our body, even the plant body also. But the small, so you have to imagine organisms that has one cell or two cells that we cannot see through the naked eye. Only under the microscope we can see. So those organisms are also called as living beings. We have trillions of cells. Compare 1 or 2 and trillion. So much difference, and we are well developed. So we are also considered as living beings. And organisms are organized at microscopic level from atoms to cells. So the organisms are being organized from atoms to cells. So before cell itself one starting point to form an organism, a whole organism. So before cells, the atoms only is the first point of any living matter or organism. So from atom only these cells have been formed. Cell is a minute unit. More than that, small thing is the atoms. So the organism, how does an organism is fully formed? So we have to start from atoms, cells, tissues and organisms like that. It is a chart. I will explain to you later on. And the matter is structured in a ordered way. So any matter, any living being, they are formed in a very ordered way. So that is what is said here. Atoms are arranged into molecules. what they are telling, atoms are together form molecules. This you would have learned in the subject chemistry. And later on what happens? Then the molecules together form macromolecules. Molecules together form macromolecules, which make up two organelles. Then what happens? All the macromolecules together form organelles. So organelles are nothing but the organs of the cell. So we have eyes, nose, ears, everything. Like that, cells also have a few organs. So those are called as organelles. For us it is known as organs, whereas for cells it is known as organelles, which together work to form cells. Then all these organelles are kept together form cells. So now atoms together form molecules, and then molecules together form macromolecules, and macromolecules together form organelles, and organelles finally together form cells. So these are arranged in an orderly manner. So you should know before the cells these are the names. Then after the cells what happens I will tell you. Then cells are organized in higher levels to form an entire organism. So what happens is cells are together arranged in an orderly manner, and finally in the organism line itself the higher level is the entire organism, the whole organism, that is the higher level of any cell formation. So cells are organized in higher level, and cells are well developed and organized in a higher level, then they finally form an entire organisms. So like this only an entire organism is being formed. So I will now give you a short recap from the first. We were talking about cells in this video. So all living organisms are made up of cells only. So without cell there is no life. All the living things that we see are all made up of cells only. And organisms like ferns, fish and elephant looks similar at cellular level. So at cellular level if you see means even though externally they may differ in size, shape and everything, but at cellular level all are same. All the type of organisms are same. And cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. So that only forms the structural unit, the external features of any organism. And functional unit means the internal functions, all the metabolic activities of any organism. So those are also done by cells only. So that is why it is known as cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And then organisms, some organisms may have one or two cells. They are the microorganisms, the small microorganisms that are viewed under the microscope, and some are made up of trillions of cells. The well-developed organisms, the huge organism in the living chart, the living organism chart itself, that only will be on the top. So those organisms are made up of trillions of cells. For example, trees, human beings. So all are made up of trillions of cells. Because internally there will be well developed organ system. For example, if you take us, we have a separate system for each of these things. We breathe, that is a respiratory system. For eating and digestive system. So we have separate system. So for each of them to work properly, we need many cells. So that is why we have trillions of cells, because the organism is well developed. And organisms are organized at microscopic level. So the organisms are organized from the microscopic level. If you see means it will start from atoms and to the cells. So at microscopic level it is arranged in such a manner from atoms to cells. And the matter is structured in an ordered manner. So any matter, anything is formed, it is arranged in an ordered manner. And we saw how it is arranged. First Then atoms together form molecules, and molecules together form macromolecules, which make up two organelles, and they work together. All the organelles of the cell work together to form cells, and cells are organized in higher levels. When the cells are organized at very higher levels to form one core organism. It may be dogs, cats, or any animal, or any plant, or any human being. So they are formed when cells are arranged at higher levels.
As you can see in the image, how from a single cell a full organism is being produced. So like I already told you, how the cell is so small it is. So the cells all together form tissues, the second part, and all the tissues together form the third image, that is the organs. So organs denotes stomach, heart, lungs. So all these are different organs. When all these organs together form organ system, that is respiratory system, excretory system, then digestive system. So everything is different organ systems, and all these organ systems to finally form an organism, that is human beings, animals, plants. So these all are well developed living organisms. So like this only, from the cell to an organism, the cell has been arranged.
I hope you would have understood the characteristics of life. So what is life? What are things that have life and do not have life, and what are they denoted as, and we saw some examples. So I hope you learned something from this lesson. So a worksheet and an activity will be given in that. So try to fill all the answers and learn it properly, children. Thank you.